Today, I would like to introduce you to Workplace. Who knows about Workplace? Good. Good. So I won't be useless today, so that's good. So that's basically a product that is headquartered here in the UK. This is the first time Facebook decided to headquarter a product outside the US. So the entire engineering team, including design, data science, research, product management, all these teams are based here in the UK. I think it gives us very different flavor to the product as well. Workplace is what? It's basically your Facebook, your Messenger, but just for your organization. And this is something that we started to use at Facebook years and years and years and years ago, without even thinking that one day maybe this product would be useful for companies outside Facebook. But after getting lots of feedback from all the people who visited our office or all the people meeting with us, we're like, okay, maybe there is something here. Maybe you should dig in. So the goal of Workplace is really to transform your organizations into communities. Again, we really truly believe it's all about the people. And we are really proud to say that this product is people-centric. Usually most of the independent software vendors are building products, more like system of records, line of codes, features, buttons. That's it. We want to put people on the front seat. Because if people don't use the tools you give them, these tools are useless. If people don't use them correctly and put content on it, these tools are useless, especially when it comes to communication tools. It's a pretty provocative statement here. Work isn't working. In fact, if you look at Gallup reports published every year, you can see that the engagement, people engagement at work is declining. That's nuts. Like you have more tools, more trainings, more resources available for you and your people. And despite all of these things, people are disengaged. And if people are disengaged, it means that they will be less motivated. It means that productivity will go down. It means that retention rate will be lower. So it's bad. It's bad not only for the people, because we spend a lot of time at work to actually spend good time at work, but also it's bad, of course, for organizations. And we identify three main reasons. The first one, dispersed workforces. Most of the organizations now have highly distributed workforce. People in different offices, people working from home, part-time workers. It's really, really rare to have all the people all together all day long. Just people travel, meet with external partners, customers. So we need new and better ways to connect people. The second one is employees are taking communication into their own hands. I think this one was a shock for us at Facebook. I really encourage you to do that as well internally, or with any brands actually. Go on facebook.com if you use Facebook. On the blue app, like the real Facebook. Search for Tesco brand. Tab groups. And you will be able to select closed groups or open groups. Select closed groups. The number one group, Tesco counters. 6,000 people. They are organizing themselves. We don't provide them the right tools. Guess what? They already use these tools at home. So they just use the same tools at home for doing their jobs. Mobile first, video first, easy to use, familiar experience. The second largest group is Tesco drivers for their e-commerce branch. Like hundreds, if not thousands of people. What's beautiful about these groups is they are maintained by other employees. Like you have tens of admins. You have a group description long like this. You have to show your Tesco ID to be part of the group. Who is using WhatsApp here? Yeah. WhatsApp with colleagues. Yeah. That's my point. Because you are not getting the right tools, you are using your own tools. The issue is these tools are not designed for work from a privacy perspective, business model perspective, support perspective. So there are some risks associated by using these consumer apps. And again, WhatsApp is part of the Facebook family, so, but still. Employee expectations have changed. And especially in your industry, I think it's, I mean, you know that for years, but people want to understand why they are doing the job, why the organization decide to go this way or this way. And especially with the millennials coming at work, like by 2020, 50% of the workforce will be millennials, 50%. We unfortunately tend to think that millennials means like they are tech savvy and they know more about digital and blah, blah. This is literally like BS. Because my mom then is a millennial. She's using WhatsApp, she's using Amazon. I mean, she's not on Snapchat, I think, but still. It's more about the purpose. Millennials at work will ask why. Why should I do that? Why the company decides to do this? And you will have to answer. They expect this two-way communication. It cannot just be like top-down. For years and years and years, communication at work was just advertising. A post on the intranet and an email with replies turned off. People don't want that anymore. They want to be part of the conversation. They want to ask questions. They want to celebrate as well the good news. So, again, it's about the people. It's not about the users. Even at Facebook, a couple of years ago, we changed our internal metrics to measure success. It used to be like monthly active user or daily active users, and we changed it just to monthly active people. Just to make sure that all the engineers, product managers understand that behind the screens, people, not users, not robots, not bots. I mean, sometimes, unfortunately. But mostly people. At the same time, today, the standard of communication in most of the organizations, this. Do you know this? An email. Do you know what CC means?
Carbon copy.
Yes. Carbon copy. Do you know when carbon copy was invented? 1806. Yeah. So the people who thought about communication tools or even software at first just looked at what the physical world was doing. And they just tried to digitalize these things, not reinvent really the way we communicate and collaborate, but just like to put this here from ear to ear. The same way, like if you think about a Word document, why it's not full screen? It's A4, even on your screen, because you print it. It's crazy, right? So we had to adapt the digital world based on what we knew from the physical world. And this is nuts. This is literally nuts, because it means that we are not taking full advantages of the power of the software and the digital world. So lots of things have changed here between this and this. First is mobile. And actually, right now, you are spending more time in front of these small screens that are getting bigger and bigger, but still small screens, than any other screen. It's crazy, right? Do you remember TV? When we're like, oh, kids, stop watching TV. Yeah, they stop, but they're on this now. And look at this. It's actually not just text. It's pictures, videos, emojis, reactions, GIFs. New way to express your ideas, your feelings. When was the last time you sent an email to a friend? Now, when you get an email, it's basically for bad news. Like this Air France telling you, oh, sorry, we've lost your luggage. This is it. Email is formal. Email is boring. Email is text-centric. Email is not emotional. And again, when you want to talk to people, you want to create this emotional connection because you want them to work with you, not for you. You want them to believe in in your mission, in what you want to achieve. And that's why these things are used today. A couple of trends. I think it's really important just to also show some numbers here. 25% of internet users by 2020 will be mobile only. That's nuts. It means that basically the new generation is discovering internet through a mobile interface. For them, mobile equals internet. Not desktop, mobile. So we have to think about mobile first experience. The second point is messaging first. Every single day, more than 100 billion messages are sent through WhatsApp and Messenger. Only 100 billion. At peak, SMS globally was at 25 billion. It was like a couple of years ago. Since it's been years and years and years, and now number of SMS is actually decreasing. Video first. I think in the US, after 6:30 p.m., 25% of the bandwidth is dedicated to Netflix. It's crazy, right? But we are living in a video-first world. Expressive communication is the thing. And you know why? It's because our brains are designed for this, visual content. We process pictures 60,000 times faster than text. And guess what? We are lazy. So we prefer visual content rather than text. And we understand these way better as well. And last, again, 50% of the global workforce by 2020 will be millennials. And that's funny because we think about millennials, but it's really about the Gen Z, the generation right after millennials. Not sure if I can say that, but anyway. At Facebook, when we are your people in Dublin, like 21, 22 years old, we have a special training for them about how to use emails. Just, you have to put hello, a signature, BCC, CC, because these people only use messaging apps. And on a messaging app, you have one single thread. You have to come back and say hello again, like, or even put your signature, like, of course I know it's you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So that's pretty funny. And that's why we decided a couple of years ago, after using it internally, to ship Workplace. Workplace by Facebook is basically your Facebook, your messenger, just for your organization. All the features you know about Facebook are available. Profiles, live stream, auto translation, groups, all these things are available. However, it's a different app. It's a different login. It's a different privacy model. So you won't see posts from your friends, from your family here. You won't see beautiful ads, from Facebook. No ads. You won't be able to play Candy Crush. Again, sorry. I'm pushing the engineering team to add this feature, but no. So it's completely separate from Facebook. It's your environment just for your organization. You own the data. I'm going to repeat. You own the data. It's a very different setup than Facebook or Instagram. You own the data. It's exactly the same as Salesforce or Office 365 or Dynamics CRM. So you have a web app. You can see here it's gray dark, a bit different from Facebook. You have your logo. It's literally like a picture of our own instance, but it would be like the logo of your organization. The domain name is different. Is yourcompanyname.workplace.com. And you have two mobile apps. Workplace, which is the equivalent of Facebook, and Workplace Chat, which is like Messenger. But you're going to find like exactly the same experience. And the idea behind this is really to turn your organization into a meaningful community. We strongly believe that today, most of the employees are not engaged, and first, most of them are not connected. And we strongly believe that if we connect people, good things happen. Information travels faster. You reduce the distance between the head office and the people in the field. You break silos between teams. And leaders of the organization are able to catch the bad news the first, which is great, because then they can take actions. Today, more than 30,000 companies are using Workplace. And here we're only talking about company-wide deployments. If you look at Booking.com, 15,000 people are using Workplace every single day. They use Workplace exactly as we do at Facebook. We have a lot of charities, NGOs on Workplace. I was really proud to have RNIB deciding to use Workplace because we also offer accessibility features as part of our product. World Child as well, Norwegian Refugee Council, it was one of my first meeting in Norway. It was, unfortunately, the beginning of this crisis immigration, and they were looking for tools to help them to be better connected to face these new changes ahead. Save the Children as well, Comic Relief. So Workplace works in any organization, any size, any industries. But fact is, we have significant traction with you guys. So first of all, thank you. A point I had to put a slide on this, like security. I know it's kind of boring, but so important at the same time. We had to work a lot on this. Not so much on security features, but just on certifications, making sure that we speak the same language as IT leaders. Because we are Facebook. So we have to do, or to put twice as much effort to make sure that people trust us and believe in what we say. So that's why we decided to do third-party certification with Ernst & Young and a couple of other big auditors around ISO 27001, GDPR, ISO 27018, penetration test, and all these things. So you can trust us, because cloud business is all about trust. Now let's come back to the 6 trends that I think will define the future of work. The first one is open by default. Again, transparency, authenticity will be key. People want to be part of the organization, not just of a team. Second, mobile first. Today, and that's crazy, but most of the software available for enterprise is designed first for desktop. Actually, most of the people are spending time on mobile. Third, expressive communication. I don't know if you remember Facebook like 10 years ago. It was just like text, 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 text. If you look at Facebook today, it's all about videos and pictures, and that's why Instagram also is getting so much traction. But it has to be there as well in the enterprise. Connect everyone. If you think about large companies like Tesco or Walmart, only 10% of their employees are actually connected. What about the others? Posters, a magazine every quarter, that's what they have. It's not enough, because these people, not only they want to know more about the organization, but they can contribute to the organization. Integrated, of course, we have to build bridges so it's not clunky, it's frictionless to move from one application to another application in terms of feed of data, but also user experience. And last, it's personalized. I think people tend to forget, but there was a world before the newsfeed. Actually, all the people in this room had exactly the same content in front of them. Remember the portals like Yahoo, Portal, MSN? It's basically TV before Netflix. But now everything is personalized. Everything has to be personalized because my life is different than your life. Your interests are different from my interest. And even at work, your job is different than the job of someone else. So it's really important to personalize the experience and personalize the content so people find relevant information at the right time for their job, to be more efficient, more engaged. But again, there was a world before the newsfeed, and today, at work, it's still a portal way of work and presenting the information. One factor that unites all 6, people. It's all again about the people, and I would just talk about three key pillars here. Open by default. This is one of our all-hands in Menlo Park in California, and we are doing this every quarter. But Mark Zuckerberg is doing a 1-hour Q&A with all the employees every single week. Every single week, he's spending 1 hour to answer the toughest questions, I can tell you. If you think that journalists are nice with us, are tough with us, you should attend one of our Q&A, because employees, I can tell you, ask for answers, ask for transparency, ask for solutions, and they are fierce. But that's our job, to reply, give answers, be challenged, and we are doing that every single week. This is our own workplace instance here. And Hugo Barra announced at Oculus Connect the launch of the Quest device, the new virtual reality headset that will be available in summer. And as you can see here, you have like text, but also pictures, and people can comment, react, celebrate success. It was a shock to me when I joined Facebook. I remember it was my first week. Back then we had 5,000 people worldwide. And I remember like after 3-4 days, I saw a post from the Instagram team. And back then, Instagram was like 50 people. And they were announcing a new feature on Instagram. So of course, this group is highly moderated. Very few people can post on it because super large reach. And this post from Instagram, this little 50 people team, got 1.5 thousand likes, 200 comments, and people celebrating with them, and people asking them questions. That's it. They're part of the family. I think it's absolutely key. The same way here we are announcing a new CMO joining the organization. And again, it's not just text. It's just a picture of the guy with Chris Cox here. It looks like he's getting more traction than the VR headset, but like it's just great to see this interaction. And you may not see this here, but we have auto translation. So if you say like, you're French, you're going to see this post in French. And we do support 49 languages here. It was super. I remember a Norwegian refugee console. So I was at first connecting with them on Workplace. And they were like, but do you speak Norwegian? I was like, no. Not at all. I barely speak English. So that was quite interesting, and so on. So you get the point. How to streamline organization, communication. The second one is all connected, to share and learn. We are infinite learners. We have to accept the fact that in 15 years we're going to have a different job. That probably like in 2 years we're going to have a different job. That the reason why your company decided to hire you is actually not the reasons you think are. And this will be a key thing you're going to have to learn during your entire career. And at Facebook, we learn first by sharing. We don't have like experts. We don't have like people with badges. No. We can learn from any person from the organization. And we have groups for everything. We are now 40,000 people. We probably have like 300,000 groups. We have groups for literally everything. Like all FYI, enterprise engineering, Black at Facebook, women at Facebook, Pride at Facebook, GDPR, sales partnerships Q&A, wait what, ask PR, when they see something bad in the press, can just like share it, and the PR team will jump and provide guidelines, how to answer, how to reply, Instagram FYI, and so on. And all of these things are actually powered by machine learning and what we call the work graph, which is like the graph that you have on Facebook that makes your Facebook experience really personalized. The right information at the right time based on the hierarchy in the company, based on the previous engagement on some content and groups and people. That's absolutely key. It feels very natural. So basically, it was a story of Save the Children, but I will be able to share it with you later on. And this is what lots of other companies, Oxfam included, are actually sharing and using groups to share information and making sure that people are aware of it and can ask questions, request for help. You can see here the report from one of their recent visits to a camp here. Augment your people, and this is the last piece. Give your people superpowers. I don't know if some of you already use bots on Messenger or any other platform, and this is an example here with KLM. But basically, for most of the apps you have in your organization, you don't need to have their application on your phone because you are using these apps only once a month, once a quarter, maybe once a year. So it's really hard to drive adoption of these applications. So we decided to bring the bots platform to our workplace. And these are some of the examples we have at Facebook. We have a lobby bot. So when someone signs up to visit to give me a visit at the office, he will sign up on an iPad in the lobby, and I will get pinged by the lobby bot telling me, hey, this person is coming, do you know him? And so I will just get the information from there. I don't need to get a phone call from someone to tell me that this person is here. We have the interviewer bot and many other things, and lots of companies are actually creating their own bots. One bot we actually decided to ship as part of Workplace, so it's fully included in Workplace, is Safety Check. Maybe some of you already know about Safety Check. Living in the UK, unfortunately, we had to activate Safety Check several times on Facebook. And so we decided to bring Safety Check from Facebook to Workplace. So if you see, or if you have, unfortunately, an incident in one country, one region, one office, you can send an alert to all the people that are based in this country, city, or office. And these people can say, I'm safe, or not. But usually, like, you will get like 80% of the people saying, I'm safe. They just won't answer. And then you can focus your time, efforts, just at finding information about these 20%, rather than going for the 100%. Not sure we have sound, so. But basically, this is how it works. You have an access to a UX where you can see all the analytics. It's just great. We are using it at Facebook for years. Unfortunately, we had to activate Safety Check for our own employees in Paris following the terrorist attack, or in London as well. And I was there. I still remember I was like Saturday night at 10 p.m. getting a ping from Facebook telling me like, "Are you safe? Something is happening in this place." I'm like, okay. It was a very, very interesting feeling, because then I got a call from my mom. So you're like, my company is taking care of me. Like it's a very, very special feeling here. So anyway, we had like only 25 minutes to discuss about these trends. But again, at the end, it's all about, never forget that, it's all about the people. If slide is here. Oops, sorry. It's all about the people. Last thing, Workplace is free for charities. Entirely free. No setup fees, no consulting fees, no blah, blah, blah. We have also partners that are dedicated to help you to implement Workplace. And we are lucky enough to have Cooler here on our stand. So that's really key, that you know as well that you can be supported when it comes not just to, of course, like in a way buying, even if it's free, but also like just implement Workplace. That's it for me. You can ping me as well on julienl@fb.com, or go straight to workplace.com to enjoy the experience. Thank you.
Wonderful, Julien. Thank you very much. We have 5 minutes if anybody would like a question. So does anybody have a question? We haven't got any on the Slido so far, which is fine. Yes?
Pauline Scott from Rennie Grove Hospice Care. We are using Workplace for Facebook and within our hospice, and we are finding there's a conflict between having a closed group that you need to police and communicating within the organisation, and just the very nature of that sort of social media, which bubbles out uncontrollably. How do you see it going forward as a product for us to use with those two conflicts?
I think it's really hard to think that you will be able to monitor everything, the same way as you cannot monitor what people are talking about at the coffee machine or in the meeting. So it has to be the same on Workplace. It's really important to have a framework of group that are reflecting your organization by teams, business unit, in projects, But after that, it's really on the people to create their own groups that will just be interesting for them. So we see a lot of groups, for instance, related to moms at Facebook or parents at Facebook, and it's absolutely key because we think that you cannot just say like, I'm going to work and put not just my jacket, but my work face and no, I mean, this is you. So you have to bring your own self to work as well. So we think that it's working quite well so far, that to have this both organic flow of information, also like very structured and monitor information. It's key as well to control and moderate, especially for the groups with a large audience. Like I really invite you to moderate, like otherwise just spammy. At some point you want to be productive, you have lots of things to do. So it's key for the people when they go to the group like news, organization news with, I don't know, hundreds of people on it, it has to be moderated. So only few people can actually post there. People can comment, can react, but only few people can post. So the content is highly relevant and people stay engaged on this group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At the moment, we've got several questions which are popping up on the Slido, so if we could actually look at those, and it may be that yours is in there, I'm not sure. Julien, a lot of them are actually to do with how it interfaces and how it works.
Yeah.
So does a workplace integrate with other workplace systems?
Yes.
What about file sharing? Does it integrate with Dynamics? Is the data really ours? So this the trust issue with Facebook and data.
So the first one about integration. So we have built partnerships with Microsoft, Google, Dropbox, and Box. So basically you can integrate your OneDrive, SharePoint to Workplace. At Facebook, we use Office 365 and Workplace. That's the case as well for most of the organizations on Workplace today. They are using Office 365 and Workplace. I gave a couple of examples here from Telefonica to Vodafone, Save the Children, I think as well. And we have also some companies using Google and Workplace. And we have built these integrations in partnership with their engineers. So it's seamless integrations. For everything related to document storage, it's in OneDrive. But the conversation is happening on Workplace. We also have a couple of other integrations like ServiceNow. It's a very important one. Or Zoom as well. So you can basically do a live stream on Workplace from Zoom if you use it as a video conferencing solution. We currently have 50, 60 deep integrations with the largest independent software vendors. So it's a frictionless experience for your people. Dynamics, no, but we are working closely with Microsoft on that one. But at the same time, we have an open API. So it means that anyone with, of course, like some development skills can build their own integrations. So we have some companies who build integrations with SAP, with a lot of like in-house systems, because again, our API is really, really open.
I think we're going to have to stop there.
Yeah, okay. I mean, just trust, because I think it's really important, and I don't want to put this on the side. Is that on Workplace really ours? If it's accessed under an fb.com domain, a lot of people won't trust Facebook with their corporate information. So you have like different ways to understand, to answer this question. First one is contract. I mean, it matters. So read the contract. It's plain text. You own the data, period. We cannot use the data but for serving the service Workplace, period. Second, you look at the track record when it comes to Workplace. Royal Bank of Scotland, Government of Singapore, Telefonica, Vodafone, Nestle, Danone, Save the Children, Oxfam. All of these companies, for years, decided to go on Workplace. And believe me, they are not light when it comes to security and data privacy. They have done the job with us. They challenged us. We had to change things. But we did it because we want to be relevant in that space. And the third point is really about, technically speaking, it's probably not the right audience here, but we can talk about how data is segregated despite using the same infrastructure from a hardware level, but you have logical separation between instances. And again, at Facebook, we use Workplace as well. It would be just crazy to take the risk to see leaks from our own environment outside our organization. But we take this very, very seriously, of course.
Lovely.
Thank you.
So, very frustratingly, we are going to have to end here. I'd like to thank Julien. One question, actually, is that given that people have gone to a lot of trouble to ask you some very useful questions, would it be possible for Tech Trust to send them through to you and your people?
Yeah.
And then you would be able to post some answers and suggestions sort of following the conference so that we have some response.
And we have a stand as well.
Yes, and also, yes, colleagues at the stand. Okay, so can we warmly thank Julien for his speech this morning?